My game was Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Electric.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of XCOM. To those that don't know, XCOM is a tactical RPG, turn-based, but it takes place in like the not too distant future versus aliens, and it's very gory and it's very numbers driven and very difficult. Uh, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope is basically a complete ripoff of that series, except it's for kids. It's got Mario and it's got Rabbids. Rabbids are like a Ubisoft brand. I think they're with Rayman. And I honestly couldn't really give two shits about the Rabbids part of it. But if you want to relate it to Pokemon, as you go throughout the game, you collect Rabbids and different sparks of hope. And those sparks of hope augment you and give you different abilities and like give you resistances, kind of like Pokemon. So like if you had an electric one, it might make you less resistant or more resistant, I should say, to electricity for your whole team. So the whole point of the game is to build a team that can survive different settings, uh, which means a lot of times switching around your sparks. It solves the problem of too many numbers by just giving all the main characters a skill tree, and in that skill tree you can just do like a simple you just put points in as you level up, and it just says like you do 10% more damage with your gun. um they could do easily do something like this with the actual Pokemon, and it would be more interesting. It'd be kind of like more like Dragon Quest Monsters, Joker. um it's really addictive. What I like about this game over XCOM is that a lot of the rounds can usually end in one round, like a lot of the games. So in XCOM, they're usually like an hour long to even attempt to beat, especially as you get further and further in, and you got to be so careful. With this, it's almost a challenge, the exact opposite of how quickly can you beat it, and oftentimes it's literally one character can sweep the board, and that's part of the puzzle for it. So definitely a lot more friendly for children, and a lot more appreciative of your time. So I really really enjoy the series. It's certainly for kids. There's cutscenes in it that you know they're kind of cute, but for us they're for children.
Mm.
But it's a lot of fun. And if you like the first one, it's the major difference between this and the first one is that they've eliminated the square grid based system that they had, and it's more free range. So it's really interesting technology to see, and how they were able to make it still so intuitive, even though there's no grid. I mean, there technically is a grid, but they've been able to mask it so you don't really see it. So really, really awesome game. Took me. I'm on the last world. I haven't officially beaten it because I got sick like right when I was trying to complete this thing. But I would say it's probably like 20 to 30 hours, maybe around 20.
Nice.
And certainly if you want to collect everything, it'd be a little more than that. But great game.
I man, I really liked that first game. I'm also a huge XCOM fan. The issue that I had with the first game though was that it felt like the worlds themselves that they went through like lasted a little too long. Have you noticed anything like that with this one?
Um, I don't know. I don't think they've lasted too long. I never got to a point where I was kind of rolling my eyes like I have in other games, especially RPGs. They've definitely done a different thing with how the map works. So you actually literally travel to different planets instead of being on like a hub planet, and you access new things from there. So I don't know. I just think that each one feels different and vibrant enough, and you learn new stuff at each one that it never became a problem of like getting too bored.
How was
We
the
also discussed.
strategy elements?
Well, the strategy elements are way dumbed down for children. See, in XCOM, it uses what's called cover. Like that's kind of what the whole game is based off of, is cover. So you're hiding behind a wall, and obviously that will theoretically protect you from people shooting at you. Because this is a shooting game essentially. Where this game differs from that is in XCOM, it's literally down to like it's not uncommon to see like 92% chance to hit. And then like depending on all these different variables and like if it's a half thing, it's like you may have a bunch of things that interact with that makes it like 32% chance to hit. This game does away with all that. It's 100%, 50% or 0. And it's if it's a medium thing, it's a 50% chance. If it's a tall wall that you're behind, it's 0%. And if you're out in the open, which you should never be, but things happen, then it's 100% chance. So different characters have different guns. So Mario has a shooter. Princess Peach has like a huge shotgun, which is kind of weird to think about that way, but she does. And then Bowser has like a big bazooka. And that's my squad, by the way, is Mario, Peach, and Bowser. And they all have different abilities that they can use within each other. But I mean, every character is viable, and I like those people, and I don't really care for the minions, so I don't use them. I'm sure they're still viable as well, but to me, it's just a Mario RPG. But there's also some minions in it.
Yeah, the first game I used like Mario and Luigi because he sniped, and then Rabid Luigi because he sniped. So I just had 2 snipers.
Yeah.
But I in the first game I really enjoyed how like bouncy and playful the characters were. Like you could kind of like chain them together to like do attacks or like to get extra reach across the battlefield and stuff. Is there still sort of like that element?
Oh yeah, yeah. So you can like every character can innately slide. So when you're running up to an enemy, you can slide into them, and it does damage, and it also knocks them up. Characters like Mario or Luigi have the Overwatch ability, which in XCOM, the Overwatch ability meant if a target came in sight, they could shoot them if you use the ability. So like if Mario uses Overwatch and then somebody gets knocked up, once they're in like a visibility range, Mario can just automatically shoot them, which is really nice. And they can also jump off of each other. So like Peach can run up to Bowser and jump on his head and then like fly for a little bit to a different location. There's a lot of different ways you can interact with each other, and that's again how they kind of limit the turns to even one. If you know what you're doing, you can like have Peach jump off somebody's head, go to a different place, slide into people, have Overwatch abilities.
Go through a pipe, right?
Which character did you get the most satisfaction jumping off their head from?
Well, I don't I don't know. That seems mean, but I would say I liked Peach was my favorite character because her tree allows her to have longer hang time. So when she jumps off a head, she can literally stay up for like almost an entire movement space. And then she has two slides. So she became just a powerhouse of a character.
Yeah.
That I beat several with only her.
Okay.
So
electric slide.
Yeah, it was an electric slide
Wow.
because I gave her a spark that had electricity. So it shocked everybody that it hit. So ironically, it was an electric slide.
How about cha-cha?
Ironically, it was a cha-cha. No,
Cupid Shuffle.
no, it was a Cuban shuffle.
It's Cupid Shuffle. So in terms of the narrative, how is it? Because I know in the first game it's just sort of like Mario, but there's Rabbids there now, and things just getting silly.
I don't care.
Yeah, nothing.
It
Still nothing.
They introduced some new characters, and there's a whole shebang about finding the new ones and restoring this or that. I don't know. I'm not. It doesn't really do it for me.
Yeah, still.
I'm not there for it.
I feel like if you throw Rabbids into any sort of RPG, it's just going to become like screaming and nonsense.
It's utter nonsense. I'm not going to follow your story. There's no point. But no, it's perfectly fine to play it and not know the story. It's guided in a way that you can't not know what to do.
Brian, do you have any interest in the Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope? You're muted. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I've seen it. I'm not really big into like tactics strategy games, but I'd play. I'd give it a shot. Sure. Do you think I should start? If you had to pick one game to go by, the first one or this one, which would be the good one for somebody just starting, not good at tactics games, but wants
If
to
you
jump into it?
if you care about the story for some reason, then you'd probably want to pick the first one because this one does not help you at all with understanding that there are Rabbids and also Mario in the same world. It does not. It's not like, hey, remember? It doesn't do any of that. So you probably want to play the first one, but this one is
Okay.
definitely an improvement over the first one. First one's great though.
Okay.
First one's
It's
really
a
good.
good thing though, right?
Wait.
Like it's a good thing there's not like a Kingdom Hearts style narrative.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome though.
Well, one of the Rabbids does show up in a 3DS game called Rabbids 3000 to 1. So you'd have to play that as well.
Yeah, you gotta play through that. Yeah, and then there's a rabbit that gets split into 3 different beings.
Right.
And
Well,
they're
yeah.
they're all
That's
different
common.
colored rabbits.
That's common knowledge. I mean, everyone knows that.
One's Zabid, one's Rabix, and one's Rabxid.
Yeah.
And there's an organization of 15 different rabbits.
Yeah. I mean, I would play all those first, I guess, if you're trying to get everything.
Is Grant Kirk Hope did the music for the first one? Do you know if he came back for this one?
I definitely played this with the sound on.
Oh, missing out, man. He does. He's the rare guy, man. He does like the banjos and stuff.
I played it with sound on for a little bit just to get the feel for it. It's when I'm playing on the Switch, it's generally in handheld mode, and there's generally something on the TV, so it goes off.
That is a good like TV game. Like the first one was for me at least. You know, you don't have to focus too much.
True.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.